What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplugged and Uncut, the new source for sports news and entertainment. And I do want to apologize for the time away. As you can hear it in my voice, I did get a little cold. The hot weather, cold weather just came and kicked my butt real quick. But we back, and we better than ever. That's right. Today we got an excellent show ahead. We got the top draft picks coming up for 2022. That's right. We're going to get into our top 10 NBA prospects. Actually, it's going to be more like top 14 because I'm going to give you 4 extra players I think you can see slide up or down depending on how March Madness goes. And we know March Madness is going to be off the chain and players are going to slide up and down. So that is something to watch for. This is our pre-Madness extravaganza. Can I say that? But before we get started, make sure y'all guys hit the subscribe button. We will be giving away that PlayStation 5 once we hit 100,000 subscribers. Not to mention, we got the Jordan throwback jersey in there as well, and a whole bunch of other prizes along the way. All you got to do to be entered to win is be an active subscriber and leave comments in the comment section. I'm just going to pick a random person, and that's how it goes. That's how you win. But without further ado, let's get into it because we do got some really good players to talk about today. And I'm actually going to, as I go through it, some of the slides, guys, I'm going to show you is the different draft sites online where these players are actually predicted to go. So you don't think it's just me, even though mine is not just like theirs. I actually got the players in the order I feel. But it is, you can see the differences between DraftNet, Tankathon, and all the other sites, Bleacher Report, just so you can see how they have the draft order as well playing out, because this year's college prospects and even the G League prospects and international players, because not everybody coming out this year is in college, but it's a really deep draft, and I think we could see some players that play a really long time in the NBA coming out of this draft. So the first player I want to mention is going to be in our 14th spot, and that is going to be Kendall Brown. That is right. Kendall Brown is a little Corey Maggette plus is what his player comp is. I like that. Kendall Brown is an excellent player, 6'8", 205. He's a freshman. He's bringing you about 13.6 boards, so really can't complain about that player comp. And anytime you mention Corey Maggette with the player and you say Corey Maggette plus, man, that's got to be somewhat beast-like. So I can see Kendall Brown moving up straight out of Baylor, baby. That is right. Right behind him at 13. Uh-oh. The camera almost fell, y'all. Because this one could make the camera fall. That's right. I can see this player moving up a little bit as well. And that is Jeremy Schuem, also out of Baylor. Now, his player comp has been Chimua Okeke. I do not like that player comp. Guys, I think a better comp for Jeremy is a little bit slower Scotty Barnes. That's right. This kid can really play straight out of Baylor University. And I can see him moving up or down in this year's draft. So, Jeremy Schuem didn't like the Chimua, but yeah, more like a Scotty Barnes type player. Now, this next player, is actually as high as top 10, top 5 in some drafts, and out of the top 14 in some. And that is Benedict Mathurin. That is right, the 6'7" sophomore. He do play on the wing out of Arizona. This guy is really good. I can see him moving up. He's a Quentin Richardson type player. Can get to the basket, 3-level score. Got a good looking jump shot. So don't be surprised to see Benedict and his smooth jump shot move up the draft board. But I do got him behind a player that has been also all over the place in the draft boards. Coming out of Kentucky, the 6'3", 185-pound point guard, Ty Washington. Now, this kid can ball. He's like a Brandon Knight plus type player. Get you buckets. And I can see Ty actually moving into the top 10. That's right. He's got that type of talent. But those are my 4 honorable mentions as we get into the top 10 really good players. But are they better than the 10 we about to mention? Number 10 on the list, Dyson Daniels out the G League. Maine. Now, his player comp, I don't like, so I'm going to give you my player comp for him. I got him in the mode of a Harden, Ginobili, DeRozan, a big guard who plays well with the ball in his hands, and he reads passing lanes really well. Excellent ball distributor and can get his own bucket whenever he wants. So that's right, I got him as a 6'6" shooting guard, more in that Harden, Ginobili, DeRozan type. Put the ball in his hands, let him make plays. Almost like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out there in OKC. Put the ball in his hands and let him make plays. Not quite a point guard, still more of a shooting and scoring guard. So I got Dyson Daniels. I can actually see him moving up. I can see him sliding down because he's in the G League, but more than that, I can see him moving up. This kid is oozing with potential, and he's only 18 years old. All right, so let's get into our number 9 player. Man, and this guy I can really see moving up, and that is Keegan Murray, the 6'8", 215-pound. He's a big AI with a good-looking shot, and I'm talking about Andre Iguodala, not Allen Iverson, y'all. He's a bigger. I don't like the Obi Toppin comparison. I'd even say more of a young Boris Diaw. But he's a better defender, and that's why I said AI, Andre Iguodala. This guy's a two-way player, a good-looking jump shot, and not a bad passer as well with the ball in his hands. So he's not going to slow your offensive down, and I can see Keegan Murray moving up on some people's draft charts. But as we get higher, it's going to be harder to supplant some of these players we go through. That's right, because number 8 on the list is a straight monster, 6'11", 250-pounder, straight out of Duke, Jalen Duren. That's right. I mean Memphis, my bad. His player comp is Dwight Howard, and I agree with that because the man is built like a tank. The kid has a high motor. He's an excellent rim protector. He actually even has a decent mid-range game that he's slowly expanding. So that's a really good player to pick up for any team that is looking for a big. That's right, somebody that can rim, protect the rim, and also step out and hit a few mid-range jumpers like LaMarcus Aldridge used to. Not bad at all. I can see Jalen Duren just because of his size and elite athleticism and frame moving up on this list. Now, my number 7 player is my player that I got starred with an asterisk because he's kind of an unknown commodity this year, not having played, but Shaedon Sharpe, whoa. His player comp is Brandon Roy, and I get that. And that's because of his elite shooting. But man, to me, this fool, this man, not fool, sorry guys. This kid right here, oh my, he's a ferocious dunker and an explosive athlete. I mean, some of his dunks in game remind me of a young Vince Carter. This kid go hard. So I do like the Brandon Roy shooting touch on his player comp. But man, he reminds me of a young Vince Carter, just explosive, ferocious dunker. Like, whoa. So Shaedon Sharpe, I do got started because I don't know where to put him. I could put him in the top 5, top 3, honestly, but he hasn't played this year. So that really holds him back. I mean, if he would have got a chance to play, I could really see him making a splash at Kentucky, but we don't know. We just got to go on his potential, and his potential is through the roof. And the reason I have him start is because I can actually see him going over my 6th player. I had a hard time putting this player at number 6 on my list, y'all. And that is Johnny Davis. His player comp is Manu Ginobili, but I do not agree with this. He doesn't pass the ball as well as a Manu Ginobili, James Harden type. To me, Johnny Davis, better player comp is Devin Booker Light or tall Monte Ellis. He's a guard that's looking to get buckets, and he does that well. At 6'5", 195 pounds, Johnny Davis has really stepped his game up this year. And I could see him switching places with Shaedon Sharpe or even falling down a little bit more. But I do have him in that 6th spot because he has been consistently getting buckets this year and has been a joy to watch. Now, coming in at number 5. Oh my, this player could be the steal of the draft. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. That is the 6'4" guard, Jaden Ivey. That is right. His player comp is D Wade, but I'm going to give you another player that he reminds me of when I watch this kid, and that is Ja Morant. That is right. This kid brings the excitement. He plays on both sides of the basketball. He can shoot the ball well. And he could have a better shooting percentage, but that's because of some of the looks he's taken. Takes some difficult shots, but his form is really smooth. And this kid is straight explosive. Man, that's why I'm saying he could be the steal of the draft. He reminds me of a young Ja Morant, just ready to go get you buckets and lead a team and put on a show doing it. Very fun player to watch. If you haven't looked out for him, go ahead and check out Jaden Ivey coming in at our top 5. Number 4. Who the number 4 spot going to? The one, the only, Jimmy Butler Light. That's right, Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler, the boy out of Miami. Well, he ain't out of Miami, but he in Miami. A.J. Griffin, 6'6", 210, two-way player with a solid frame, nice athleticism. He just does everything good. There's really nothing to hate on this man's game. He's going to play offense. He's going to play defense. He's going to be in the league for a long time. And that Jimmy Butler comparison is right on the money, the way he plays. I mean, he's not the most explosive, but he's still explosive. You know, Jimmy Butler isn't jumping through the roof like Zach LaVine, but give him a chance, he's going to jump through the roof and dunk on you. So that's why I like that comparison. That reminds me of A.J. Griffin. He might not be flying and looking like your boy Jaden Ivey when he's flying through the air, but he can still get to the bucket. He still's going to put it down. And he's an excellent two-way player. You can't get enough two-way wings, and he might be the best two-way wing available. So let's get into my top 3. Now, this player on my 3rd spot surprisingly drops to 5 on some draft boards, and I don't see how you're going to drop Paolo Banchero to number 5. This man is a beast. His player comp is Chris Webber, except he's a 3-level scorer. He's a big with smooth handles, a post game, nice footwork, can face you up. He's 6'10". He can pass the ball. Can I say any more? He's not the best defender in this group, but he's a decent defender. He's got size. He's got length. He's got power. He's got finesse. He's smooth with the basketball. I'm telling you, he might be the best player in this draft if the two above him weren't there. And then even then, when it's all said and done, this kid could be another steal of this draft. If you don't get him in the number 1 spot and you're sitting there in 3 to 5 and he falls to you, you're going to be saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. But the number 2 player, another question mark, and that is the unicorn of this draft. That's Chet Holmgren. His player comp is Dirk Light, Marcus Camby type on defense. He's an excellent 3-level scorer, great shooter, 7-foot body, with a 195-pound frame. He does block a lot of shots. He has surprisingly excellent handles for a player of his size and good athleticism. And I bring up the good athleticism because you don't have to be the thickest person in the NBA to be successful. Reggie Miller comes to mind. Kevin Durant has shown you can get stronger over time. And there's a few other players. Tayshaun Prince lasted a long time in the league. So his frame is not as much of a question, but it is somewhat of a question. Only because we have seen players able to play through a lack of size. Even DeJounte Murray, who you can see has put on muscle over the years, he's still not looking like Keldon Johnson out there, if you know what I mean. So you don't have to be the biggest guy. And that's why I'm going to keep Chet Holmgren in my number 2 spot and not put him below Paolo. Even though Paolo's close, this is pre-March Madness. We about to see what's going to happen. Who's going to push their team into success. And that's why the number 1 spot is still being held down by Jabari Smith for me. Jabari Smith is a problem. His player comps are Triple J, Rashard Lewis plus. I call him Mr. Double-Double. The man just gets you rebounds, points. He's a good shot blocker, good at steals. He will pass the ball and keep it moving. He's actually really smooth with the ball in his hands. He could be this year's Evan Mobley, a Rookie of the Year candidate, if not the Rookie of the Year. It's going to be a lot of comp. It really going to go down to who gets the most playing time, because there's a lot of players on this list that could be Rookie of the Year. Man, that's going to be a debate. But Jabari Smith, for right now, is holding down the number 1 NBA draft top prospect on our board. That is right. He's our number 1 draft prospect this year. Let's see where the balls bounce and who gets lucky. Right now, it's projected that the Orlando Magic will pick number 1. That'd be interesting to see what they do. They do have a lot of bigs out there, so it could get real interesting. If Orlando Magic get that number 1 draft pick, do they want to slide out of the number 1 spot thinking there's some really good wing players that they could pick up, maybe getting 2 or 3 draft picks? Or do they want to keep that number 1 spot and hopefully think that Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, or whoever they feel is the number 1 player worth drafting that number 1? But they're not guaranteed that spot. Houston Rockets are pretty bad. They're right there. And the Detroit Pistons are right there as well. So any one of those 3 teams could get the number 1 draft pick, and I would not be surprised. And even some of the other teams that might get a lucky bounce. You never know. It's going to be an interesting year, guys. I will be checking the comments to see how everybody feels about my top draft prospects, to see if I missed anybody. Do you want me to add somebody to the list? Definitely, there's a few players that I missed out here, and Eason. Oh man, there's so many that you could list in there. Kessler's been balling. Jaden Hardy. There's just too many to name, but yeah. So if you guys feel like I left a player out of this list and we need to add them, definitely be checking the comments. I'll let you know if I agree with that or don't agree with it. But it's been fun. And I'll see you guys next time, because your boy out. Peace.